Did you guys realize this? It's almost 5 o'clock in the morning we're taping.
This is going to be a long safe house.
Alright. Rock Roll Fantasy. Water. It's 4:30 in the morning.
Previously on Lost.
You were doing Anarchy, you were doing NWA Charlotte at the same time. And if I remember correctly, when I finally got on to NWA Charlotte, didn't you drop Anarchy by that time? And it was kind of letting you go to break?
Yes, because what it was, I had had enough of Anarchy. I walked up to Jerry Palmer and I said,
and it was kind of letting you go to break?
yes, because what it was, I had had enough of Anarchy. I walked up to Jerry Palmer and I said, I am interested in pursuing other things. It was at a time, I think I was still doing the Roger Gleaton mess, the CWA.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Because Roger ran the same thing, and Roger...
He ran on the same days as that.
He did.
We'll touch on that.
Roger it's a main event type company. The
Great,
production is
great
through
promotion.
the roof. The pay is through the
Yeah.
sponsorships
Roger's
are there.
great. Roger's great.
There was money behind CWA, and it was such a good thing because it got to the point is I feel like an outsider here. I'm not a part of the
You want
Georgia
to go where you're
clique.
accepted.
I want to go one.
And where you're appreciated.
If I'm not accepted, I want to go where the more money is.
Sure.
And granted, Kirby and TJ were at CWA a whole lot more than they were at Anarchy.
Way more than Anarchy.
So I'm doing this vision quest to Cornelia, Georgia, to this place that I felt was the place to be, but I'm miserable. I hate it. The only fun times I had with was Michael Judas for what little bit that he was there before he went to Puerto Rico. But Jeff Lewis and Brandon Phoenix, that was it. That was really the only guys that would talk to each other.
So before we...
It was 3 Greenville guys and the rest were Georgia.
Sure. So before we get into CWA, let's get... We're at NWA Charlotte.
Yeah.
We stopped doing Anarchy to kind of do CWA.
Mm-hmm.
NWA Charlotte...
CWA and NWA Charlotte for that
NWA Charlotte starts to have their hiccups. And there's somewhere in there where you just say... I'm done. I am so done.
It became a bullying point to me. There was the big thing that happened in NWA Charlotte was there was a fire marshal, I believe, at one of the last shows at the NWA Charlotte
and
arena.
this was speculation that one of his
there was word that Gregg Price called, that Thomas Simpson called, that Tyshawn Williams called.
So many other people. Rival promoters.
Exactly. It's the same old bullshit all over the place. The rival promoter called in the fire marshal because they were breaking the capacity
and all that. Yeah.
And there was only one bathroom, and seriously, they were actually drawing 800 people in a crowd.
They had a
seriously
crowd.
800 people.
They really did.
In a tiny little sweat box. That JD and Jay had busted their rear end to try and put air conditioning in.
Really did.
They were expanding. They were doing all they could do, but there was one bathroom. That's against building code. So all of a sudden, there was a fire marshal got called. It was the middle of Lodi versus Raven in a hardcore match. Fire marshal says, "F this ish,
shut it down,
shut it down," and boom, right there, that building's dead. No more wrestling in there. They had the screen set up. Because you had Kirby and TJ. Derek Driver, Stephen Walters.
Yeah.
You had
Jeff Lewis Neal. They were bringing in
Ryan O'Reilly.
Bringing in Keith and
Keith Walker and Rashid. I forget Rashid's. They're the Skull Crushers, the NWA World Tag Team Champions.
They brought in Aiden Chambers at one point.
That was it. NWA Charlotte became the place to be.
Spot to go if you were anybody with anybody.
Because JD and Jay were spending their money.
Spare no expense.
To get,
literally, they spare no expense.
They blew their savings to put on a wrestling show.
And I respect that. They really put their all into it.
Yeah, they really did. But the saying it goes that, hey, you want to blow $1 million? We're in a wrestling promotion. You're going to lose $1 million like that.
In a heartbeat.
And that's kind of what they did. So they opened up, I think it was like Metrolina Expo Center a couple of weeks down the road. And it was going to be the grand return.
It took like 4 weeks off, yeah.
4 weeks off, and it was basically like this old auditorium that they set up chairs in. It didn't have the same vibe as the old building because it wasn't as dressed up, wasn't the same setup because they This was not their building; it was someone else's that they were having to rent.
It was like the equivalent of renting the Bio Center. You can't do. You can only do so much to it.
You're there. You were at
for
the Bio Center one night only. It's like, hey, do your best thing, set up all your crap on a budget, and then the rest of the time we're gonna have a rodeo. We're gonna have peanut farming, yada yada yada, all this other crap.
Right.
And so at that point, they had spent all their money on the lighting, the sound, the pyrotechnics. Here's an indie show with freaking pyrotechnics. It was like Monday Night Raw, WCW Nitro on the indie level. You know, when Ryan O'Reilly, Michael Judas, and Full Shatter 3 was their name, they come out. It was the most badass entrance you've ever seen.
And they beat the piss out of me and TJ.
Yeah, they did. They murdered you guys. And I'm sorry.
It is what it is. We got shot on, but that's for another day. So we're going into what blew your lid at NWA.
Exactly, and it became time. We were told, I hate the page going to say the same. Awesome, I'm still going to go to Charlotte. You know, that's cool. I still want to be a part of this. And it came down a couple of times was, hey, I don't have the money for you. You know, I didn't shave.
I got you.
You got me? I appreciate it.
You don't have the money.
Go down just a little bit down.
No. You're ruining my airtime. Get back to it.
That feels good. Alright, so it became this thing that, hey, I don't have the money to pay you this week.
Right.
Would you mind? And at the time, I was barely scraping by. I mean, the American dream of finding yourself in professional wrestling sucked.
And that was at the time when the economy
was awful.
It literally was.
Bookings were down, the payouts were awful, and it was you worked your regular job, but you had to take somebody's time off to get do this other crap. And all of a sudden, it was, hey, you just drove to Charlotte, 2.5 hours away. Yes, midnight. I can't pay you anything.
And see, here's the thing.
Can I get you next time? Next time,
let me take a time out there. Like, when you accept the booking, let's just throw out a random number. Okay, hey, Kirby, I'm going to pay you $150 to come here. Great, okay.
Plan.
4 weeks ahead of time, I've already planned. All right, that $150 is going to go pay my power bill.
Exactly.
That's my power bill right there.
It out.
So I wait 4 weeks, I drive to the show, I'm expecting to get my power bill money, then all of a sudden they go, I can only give you $40.
You sons of bitches promoters.
My power's getting cut off tomorrow because I'm expecting $140 from you.
Exactly, and you don't give it to me.
And you can sit there back behind the camera and go, well that's irresponsible. You shouldn't expect. No, I should expect that because
we agreed to
that's what I agreed upon. I mean, it's
we
the same thing
agreement.
when you're at McDonald's and you're flipping a burger and you're agreeing on $7.25 an hour and then your check is short.
It was like, oh, I'm sorry. I know I told you I'd buy that McDouble for $1, but I got 25 cents. I promised I'd make up the rest of that money to the next time for the drive-thru. Bullshit.
So you're at NWA Charlotte, and the pay starts getting a little wet.
It starts going.
And I remember, and that
was on top of a couple other short ends because once again the economy was going down, the payouts weren't there. And I'm sorry, no disrespect to the legends. I realized that Ricky Morton's got to get his money.
Pay those children.
The Maestro needs to get his money. I like Stro.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Chris Hamrick needs to get his money.
Gotta buy fanny packs.
Gotta buy fanny packs. And then he's back with a little black cat.
Black cat.
These guys rely on payouts to make their living.
Yeah.
I've been blessed currently to have a job outside of wrestling that I can fall back on. But at the same time, like Kirby just said, we bank on that money. Literally, we bank on that money. And when it's not there, you're throwing us all for a loop. And it finally got to the point of, I'm sure you'll probably get this.
And real quick, let me get back. It's like, hey, okay, in 4 weeks I'm going to get $140. I want to take my wife out for a nice dinner. Well, I got $140 coming to pay the power bill.
Oh, I know I do
$100
this.
a night for my wife. And that's just it. I mean, Then
all of a sudden you're in Ozark, Alabama. Some guy, I got your money right here.
We're into that.
And you ain't got shit at the end of the day.
Let's go back to here. Let's go back to
kidnapping. We've done it. But anyways.
Let's go back to your story.
So it got to the point, I was up, it was, the company went to Logan, West Virginia. I do not want to name
Brian Logan.
No, it wasn't Brian Logan. It was in Logan, West Virginia. But it was, I ain't got the money. I got X amount. It went a little bit short change.
Oh, I got you. Word.
You got me.
Younger Thomas Simpson.
Yes,
Yeah,
and he's a good guy. I don't want to put him on blast.
No problem.
I do not. I will shit talk some
he made
people,
up
but
for me at least later.
he's a good guy.
Good guy.
But I worked for him one time. I never sold the extra money, and I was offered extra bookings, but because other things came down, I never got. So I'm sure.
Sure.
I mean, there might have been the intent to repay past debts, yada yada yada. And the opportunity never presented itself.
Sure.
But he's a good guy.
Good guy.
He's a good guy.
Good guy.
Pizza Hut #1.
Good guy, baby.
Yeah.
At GD Mack. Good guy.
That's right. But see, so it was that, and then it was this, it was that, it was. I'm not.
So it was a snowball.
I'm not the Georgia
money.
clique. I just drove to West Virginia for a squat, and I'm going to Charlotte.
And all of a sudden you're feeling like underappreciated. Like, what's the point?
It builds, and it's like, why am I doing this? Why am I taking time away from my goal?
Now, I remember
life out of this crap.
Now I remember one situation very in detail because I was there, and maybe if you can elaborate on it. If this has anything to do with you calling it quits, because at this point, if we haven't told you or if you haven't caught on, ER has quit. He only ring announces very specially, like he'll announce for me.
Only when he asks. That's it.
Right. He'll do the long 3-minute intro for me.
Unless someone wants to offer me a WWE contract right now, you can send an email to Twitter account at Adventures of ER or Facebook Eddie Ritz.
It'll be on the screen at the bottom.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I remember
Triple H, hire me, please. I learned Spanish. Anyways, go ahead. Lucha, Galavisión, Telemundo.
So I remember one incident where I'm leaving the same show as you from NWA Charlotte, and you're heated.
I don't think Triple H wants to drink, by the way.
It doesn't matter. He drinks.
Yeah.
You are so heated, and you're throwing stuff in your car. You're throwing stuff in your car, and you can't find your suit.
I was so pissed off. It was me.
Why were you pissed off?
And Michael Drews, because it was short term. They called everyone into the office one by one, which is automatic.
Is this the night they tried to stiff C.W. Anderson?
Yes, it is.
It didn't work.
And that's an automatic bullshit move. Every single time a promoter says, you mind coming back here with me real quick? That means you're about to get...
You're in trouble.
Effed.
Don't even do it.
Don't do it. Just say,
say right then and there.
Get straight with me up here in front of the entire lecture.
No,
hey, you're going to screw me over.
We agreed, so let's handle it.
Exactly. That's what it is. Because, hey, guess what? There's no binding contracts, so guess what? The promoters are going to screw you regardless. So anyways, so they're calling everyone back into the office to give them a, hey, I can't pay you what we said we're going to pay you. So, here's a little bit. Well, it comes down to the announcer and the referees.
I got paid, but I was supposed to get paid that night.
It comes down to the announcer and the referees. We get jack shit. And it kind of says, hey, my shoe job, real job, whatever, I sold cars for a living.
Based off commission.
Based off the commission. The economy a couple of years ago sucked. And so business wasn't where it needed to be. And so I'm living very tightly. I'm planning on this money. I'm actually spending money to come to your shit show, basically is what I'm getting at.
That's the shoot.
Yeah, and so all of a sudden, I'm talking about, by the time I get done driving to your show, driving back to the show, going out to a restaurant, eating, I'm just
in the hole.
I'm only negative probably $30. You counting on the payout. I'm sacrificing my time, my life for you, Mr. Promoter, Mrs. Promoter, or whatever. And you dick me over on it, and it's like, well, screw it. I mean, what's the point? And so, I took my suit, I took everything, and I just said, F it. I don't want to cuss, that badly on this thing.
Yeah.
And so, it's like, screw it. I threw my suit away. I threw my suit away.
I think that's the thing.
Right now, I was so poor, I had one suit. That was my ring announcer suit. I had one suit. Baller on a budget, baby. Baller on a budget. One suit.
I think a lot of people don't understand, I'm not going to take anything away from a promoter because a promoter does take a risk. They take a very big risk running a wrestling show.
Yeah.
The old saying is a business is if you want to lose money, run a wrestling show. Now, a promoter takes a huge risk running a wrestling show. But 95% of the guys that they book, we don't ask to be on the show. You contact us and you say, hey, I would like to have you on my show. So we're taking you at face value at saying you're going to pay us this
X amount of dollars. We agree on something.
Whether or not you make that back is not up to me. Okay? Again, I go back to the analogy of if I'm working at McDonald's for $7.25 an hour and you hire me on at $7.25 an hour and for the next month, you don't serve anybody because you're in a horrible location, I still need to get my money because I still showed up. I did my part of the deal. I worked, I announced, I bumped, I refereed, whatever. You should not short you.
Exactly, that's just it. I mean, hey,
you took the risk. You ran the show. You asked me to come. Why am I having to go through this hardship now? Because you don't want to give me money.
And I will say this, Thomas Simpson, you will not put this over because I'm sitting next to the ghetto Smurf.
That's me.
You were one of the very few. Thomas Simpson, if you work for Thomas Simpson,
when you walk through the door.
Thomas Simpson had your damn money in a damn envelope the second you walk through. It don't matter if he drew 6 people or 600.
That's the way it should be.
The money you agreed on was in an envelope, and it's usual. Here you go. That is how business should be conducted. There should not be no waiting around bullshit. You know,
2 hours after
2 hours after the show.
I gotta wait around for 2 hours. I was the first match.
Yeah.
I had to wait 2 hours for the show to end, and now I need to wait 2 more hours to drive 6 more hours home.
Speaking of Greensboro, North Carolina, so far away from Greenville, where I'm from, he lives in Spartanburg, and we're waiting for the promoter to finally show up to give us whatever new kind of BS is going on. I just use Greensboro as an explanation.
Yeah, I got you.
But I mean, it's just, you shouldn't do that. Don't plan on your gate. I mean, it's...
Don't ever bank on your gate.
Exactly. You don't have to be the head... It's quote Boomer Payne. Boomer Payne will put you over. You do not have to be the head cashier at Walmart to figure this crap out. You don't. Don't bank on your gate. If you will have in your mind, hey, I want to run a wrestling show.
Have the money up front.
Dumbass, have the money in your hand before you even put the son of a bitch together.
Have it ready.
If you can't pay Kirby Mack, you can't pay Eddie Rich. Or, I mean, I think I remember hear Steve Carino tell a tale one time that the guy had half his money, couldn't afford to send the other half his deposit. Guess what? Steve's no-showed, and the promoter wanted to bitch about it. Hey, guess who's a dumbass? The promoter is. You didn't have your money put together. That's the livelihood of these guys.
Yeah.
Granted, myself and Kirby have jobs to fall back on.
Probably over 50% of these guys, they make their money off of wrestling.
Chris Hamrick has a beautiful baby little girl. That is how he puts that girl through
Feeds
school,
her.
how he feeds her, how he clothes her.
Now you tell Chris Hamrick you're going to give him $200. You don't draw jack.
$200.
You give him $20. You just starved his daughter.
Exactly. I mean, that's legit.
Congratulations.
That's legit. It's not like, oh no, Chris Hamrick, he's former ECW personality. No, you just took money out of his family's mouth.
Let me tell you this, man. Let me tell you this. This is a ridiculous story. Working a show for, and I'm going to put his name out there because he's got him a bad reputation, only because of everything that he's done. The shooter Ronnie Gossett. I'm not on his shows right now anyway because he says he doesn't want me to be on his shows.
I think he picked a heart attack. He's gone again.
He doesn't want me to be on his shows because he screwed me over to begin with, and I said something about it. The man made me drive all the way to Rome, Georgia. All the way to Rome, Georgia. I mean, that was 4 or 5 hour drive, all right? I could have been at home hanging out with my beautiful wife, right? But instead, get her.
This thing's hot.
Get her out.
Hold on.
Get her out.
Damn it!
Come on, man.
Look at fishtail. I just ripped it. You ripped it off.
So instead of hanging out
redhead
with my beautiful wife,
hi, Becca.
I'm driving
Hi,
6
Becca.
hours to work for you for X amount of dollars. I kid you not. Yeah, I'll take this. I kid you not. When I tell you, I was 10 minutes away from the building, and I received a call.
Hey man, I can't use you.
No, not from Ronnie Gossett.
Oh.
I received a call from another worker who said, I'm at the building, the ring's not here, the ring's not set up, and the show's not going on.
Thanks, asshole.
He never booked a ring. So I drove 5 hours just to turn around, drive 5 hours back home. That's a messed up situation. I don't care how much a promoter wants to say, oh, I'm giving you experience and I'm putting you out there for people
you're
to
not.
see. You don't do people
We're giving
like
you
that.
experience.
You don't make people drive 5 hours just to turn around and drive back.
Here's a little side note. If you're like the Al Griggs family of Ozark, Alabama,
Oh, we're going to get into that
there are
story.
two morons
There
Go ahead. You cut me off because I was about to say the bum F word.
there are 2 more stories I want to get into before that. I mean, we're kind of jumping all over the place and we're not really following...
I know we're on a tangent and it's awesome.
We're not really following the format that I want to, which is fine.
We'll slow down.
touch on a couple more things. I want to touch on your time at CWA Champions with Roger Gleaton.
Hi, Roger.
I know you had a really good time there, but then I felt like there was some turmoil.
Yes.
And then Bill Hazelwood took over.
Yes.
So what happened there?
Basically everything was hunky dory. I actually got my foot in the door thanks to you and your brother TJ. Became friends with Malachi, a whole bunch of other guys down there. And it was basically, I was going to be the ring announcer. And it came down to the point where Roger Gleaton sent me a text message that said, hey, it's either me or Anarchy. And granted at the time, Roger paid a lot more. It was, to be honest, it was probably a $15, $20 payout for Anarchy versus $50 at CWA. So, I mean, great, I'm down for CWA because, and Roger, I'm not a fan of yours. I don't like you. I absolutely do not like you, Roger Gleaton. But you put on one hell of a show. Absolutely put on one hell of a show.
Now, why is it that you don't like Roger?
He's not. To me, Roger, you're a slime ball. You're a shitbag.
Please remember, these are his words. I'm just the host.
Just make any adventures of VR on Twitter, all that kind of crap. It was. I got a call one day. It was Roger Gleaton leaving me a voice message. I was at work. I couldn't answer. It was, hey, Eddie, I can't use you this weekend. We're going to go a different direction. I got featured in Endeavor from an indie promotion.
We're going to go a different direction with an announcement.
It was awesome.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Featured Endeavor on an indie promotion. It was grand.
That's awesome.
Because I think the story that I heard, and it was Bill Hazelwood promised something that he had some hookup with DirecTV.
Why? Because he sells receivers.
Because he sells receivers. That he could get them live and on pay-per-view. Ustream. Horseshit. Yeah, Ustream. Ustream is the new hotness, by the way. Hey, Gary, Ustream. We'll watch it. Woo! Woo! So anyway, so that was basically it. And so it pissed me off because what it was now, granted, this is hearsay. This is complete hearsay. I never really I spoke to Roger a couple of times outside of the CWA world. Once again, I was involved with NWA Legends Fanfest, and Roger came in one time with his son, wanted some pictures taken, and it was, you know what, cool, your son needs to have these memories, let him meet Ric Flair, let him meet, Paul Jones,
right.
This and that, all that kind of stuff, no big deal. Yeah, I was pissed at you. For the kid, I'm pissed at you, but I'm not going to be a douchebag about it. That was pretty much it. And it was just, all of a sudden, you get these text messages, really effing with me. And it was, hey man, I saw what you posted on the internet. I'm going to tell Bill Behrens you talking shit, so you get blackballed.
That's Roger?
After you, Roger Gleaton. I mean, right there, dude. Right fucking there. See, you can bleep that, can you?
I got you.
You can bleep? Okay, cool. So, I mean, it's like, dude, you're a fucking prick.
I got you.
It's like, quit screwing with me, man. I just want to put food on my table. You just want to put food on your table.
So he's trying to take bookings away from you.
I'm trying to take bookings away from me.
Work for him in full, or just
because really, truly, I thought it was.
This is the dirty politics.
I thought it was horseshit that Bill Hazelwood comes in. I think when I was told that I was charged $50 to drive to Columbia.
I'm sure
he undercut me by $25. So, which means Bill Hazelwood was going to get the announcing job by $25. And if I'm wrong by this, please someone email me.
Or Bill, just Facebook it. You're very open.
So yeah, get into nice time. Call me out on this. I'll be more than happy to ask Kirby to record like a full reprieve, all this kind of good stuff. Yada yada yada. That was the big thing. I was like, why won't you be up front with me? And I called back. I never got anything. I called David Garrick. David Garrick was his right-hand man at the time.
He screwed David over, too.
He screwed David over, too. But at the time when I called David, David didn't know. I don't know, brother. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. And it was like, are we like doing like the Montreal screw job? No one knows who's screwing who over. I mean, it's an indie promotion. We're bitching about $20, really. So it got down to the point. All right, fine. Who cares? And it got to the point where Roger became so paranoid. There's this old website that professional wrestler named Ricky Regal used to run. It was called the Regal Board. Back in the day, all the smart marks and the guys in the Greenville, Spartanburg area used to flock to because that was
that was the safe house at the time.
That was the safe house at the time. Ricky Regal, excuse me, what he had was, if you're going to blast someone, you're going to go to the Regal board. And it's like tptrash.com/Regal. I think that was the website. It's I'm sorry, Ricky. We quit posting. It's almost dead. But it was that at the time. That was the business. And if you wanted to know who hated who, you wanted to see Brody Ray Chase absolutely bitch out Ronnie Gossett. It was on the Regal board. And it got to the point was, a couple of us, we formed kind of like a little clique. You know, we all became the cool kids. We opened up like this separate section of the Regal board that we call the Fight Club. Once again, the first rule of Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club. I'm going to break that.
But yeah, you all did. So bring it back around to Glee.
Exactly. So that's what it was. We had this little section that we all would, we bullshit with each other. We just would talk business. Roger found out somehow that there was this different way of getting on the Regal board, that there was this other forum, and that people did not like him in this secret forum. And he tried his best, and he accomplished it to find out what we were saying. And granted, hey, I will fully accept that was bullshit. If you want to be man to man, you talk to someone face to face. And granted, there's a lot of backside.
Let me jump real quick onto this whole keyboard warrior thing. And
it's the internet.
The same thing. Well, it's the same thing like when I had that with Sanjay. He's like, why didn't you say it to my face? But the problem is sometimes you can't.
Because you get so pissed off in the heat of the moment, and it's
plus
like,
I live in South Carolina, you live in Florida. How can I say it to your face?
Roger, I don't want to drive to Columbia and call you a douchebag.
Right.
I don't like you, you don't like me.
Yeah, so you're being a keyboard warrior, Roger finds out.
Exactly, and then Roger's a text message warrior. I'm going to get you blackballed. I'm going to get you blackballed. I don't care. Go away. Leave me alone. Don't care one bit. Just do whatever. Roger at the time, he thought he was going to get some kind of a TNA house show because he booked Samoa Joe one time.
Well, that's a whole different story.
Hey, there's some more stuff out there. Second now.
Moving on.
Moving on. Son of a bitch. But anyway, so it's just this whole crap. I mean, Roger seemed cool. But Roger's a businessman. I'll be upfront about that. And Roger,
so ultimately, for less money, he screwed you over. You feel.
Yeah, it wasn't screwed me over. Basically, I mean, this is gonna be dead honest. Roger went with his money.
All right.
He went for the sponsors' money, kicked booty. It was some kind of like car company place.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, if you can get a ring announcer for $25 less, that's $25 more bucks in your pocket.
Yeah, so you can book BJ Hancock then.
Yeah, I mean, if you just give BJ Hancock like a red velvet cake and $10, he's there pretty much.
Maybe a Ninja Turtle baseball card or something.
Yeah. Oh, hey, I got a little funny story to tell you. Michael Judas tried threatening Derek Rise for his Ninja Turtle jacket.
Yeah, I heard about that, but did he do it?
He did it, and Derek was. All right, I guess I'll see what I can do. I was like, Derek's a really good your jacket. Don't be a put. Derek Rise, Michael Judas was messing with you.
What are you doing?
Michael, what are you doing?
So what I want to do is, we touched on CWA, we touched on
but regardless, Roger, I don't like it. You're a good businessman. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, you got a great promotion.
Great promotion.
Absolutely.
Great promotion. A lot of guys wish they would be there.
I guess ER just doesn't like you, and that's his opinion.
My opinion.
And he's entitled to it. So
that's right.
You can't hate him for it. So we touched on NWA Charlotte, which was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak, in your announcing career. We touched on CWA, which didn't help. Obviously. Also the place that it seems like you got your big break also didn't help, which was Anarchy. So I want to touch on a certain individual. I'm not going to say much about this individual because that's a story for a different day. A big story for a different day. And obviously there is one story I want to talk about because I find it amusing and I think you know what
a lot of people do.
But let's talk about your relationship with Thomas Simpson.
I will start this off as when you first meet Thomas Simpson will tell you one thing, and it is the most truest thing you will ever hear. Ever. Thomas told me point blank, to be my friend is a very hard thing.
Oh my gosh.
And that is the absolute truth. Thomas Simpson is an amazing human being. He is. He really is. And Thomas, I love you to death. I love you like a fat kid loves cake. At the same time, I would love to slap the shit out of you.
And you did.
And we'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
Because Thomas, the thing about Thomas is he is so passionate about wrestling.
He is passionate.
That is Thomas's, that is his life, that is his legacy. Omega is his legacy.
Absolutely.
And that is his fallback.
That's a great legacy, I'll be honest.
It is a great legacy because, dude, I mean, Kirby knows more about the Omega side of life than anyone else.
I mean, look, without getting too far into my story with Thomas Simpson, and at some point maybe I will, I want to go on record, as if I haven't gone on record enough, but I feel like this may help things. I want to go on record as in saying, if it was not for Thomas Simpson, you would not know who Kirby Mack is.
I'll second that. Same thing for Eddie Rich.
Quote, end quote, Kirby Mack. If it was not for Thomas Simpson, you would not know who Kirby Mack is.
Thomas Simpson has connections up and down the Eastern Seaboard. I mean, from Rob Feinstein of RF Video to Michael Bakikio of High Spots to just really anyone else you can think of. Thomas Simpson is an awesome human being. I love Thomas. I really do. He's a great guy.
At the same time, you love to hate him.
But you love to hate him because there's this other side of Thomas.
There's another side.
The thing about Thomas is Thomas will only associate with the best.
Thomas Simpson.
In his eyes. And it really, are you talking about an ego trip?
Yeah, he once
someone
said
about
to be successful, you have to associate with the successful people.
That's it. If you want to hang with the big dogs, you gotta be one of the big dogs.
Yeah.
That's really it. If you want to be on the ride, you gotta be able to get on the ride. And that's how my ego trip really started. That's probably how your ego trip started.
Absolutely.
Because here we're kids. We're kids in this business.
I'm a 20-year-old who grew up watching
wrestling, and all of a sudden, yeah, exactly. Here's this carrot that's dangling in front of you. I know Maggie Jeff.
I want it.
I can take you there.
I want it.
I want it. It's like, and you see that he's not getting it. It's just outside his reach. And so you bite into it. You bite the apple that the evil queen from Snow White gives you, and you go into this dreamland. And all of a sudden, you wake up one time in a hotel room, he's watching Omega the Uncommon Passion. Now you know the world that I live in.
Now you're getting deep.
But anyway, but Thomas is a great guy. Thomas is very passionate about professional wrestling. He's a good guy. He has good values. He is the most stubborn son of a bitch you'll ever meet.
He's
stubborn. Stubborn. If it's not Thomas's satisfactory, done. Throw in the towel. You're not gonna win Thomas over. If Thomas thinks your idea sucks, it sucks.
So was it hard for you to win Thomas over?
I don't know, because I was friends with Blake. Blake and Thomas, got along well, and then I was kind of the little, I guess, like the lackey for Blake, and Blake was the camera guy at the time. And I think it was because me and you
Blake
were
was a photographer, an amazing one.
And Blake was an awesome camera guy.
Photographer, he's not a camera guy.
Photographer.
There's a huge difference.
But it was me and you and TJ were so close of age.
Yeah.
I think it was, here's some other kid that's this kid's age. They could all settle down. They can all get the wildness.
And we seemed to click.
We clicked
right away.
Yeah. I mean, really, truly, we were all equal fans in different aspects of wrestling. We all cared about the business. We all had that drive. We all wanted to do something.
I mean, at one point, I remember
we had a show.
Yeah,
we were the Everloaded Click
before TJ quit. And this is one of the things that TJ said when he was quitting. He was like, he really missed his time. Like, we had a click. Like, we had a tag team, me and TJ. We had a singles competitor, whether it be, Tony Giuliani, Jason Parker, or what have you.
Derek Rice,
Ken Magnum. We had a photographer in Blake. We had an announcer in ER. We had a promoter in Thomas. We had a click.
You had a guy who could get a ring, who could get a referee. You could have some guy that will announce the show. You could have a match.
So you meet Thomas and you strike this friendship with him.
The very first time, and this is my very first story about Thomas Simpson. Myself, Blake Arledge, sat with Thomas at a Waffle House outside of a WWC. It was World Wrestling Council, not Puerto Rico, but Greenville, South Carolina, ran by Bernie Ray Chase. It was, who's in your phone book?
Yeah, this is it.
And I pulled out.
Let's play the phone book game.
Oh, hold on. Let's pause for a time because what I'm about to say is, Are you talking about me on the DVD? Hang for it.
Terry Taylor?
Not the Red Rooster. Close. Because the first thing in the phone book was Abel Adams.
Oh, Abel.
We just talked about Abel Adams. Oh, brother. Oh, bang. We got you, Abel. Shoot, baby. It's over with, brother. It's over. I love Team Ego.
You're an angry midget, Abel. You're angry. I tell you, Abel approached me at a show.
Hey, you say something about me?
Dude, I'm gonna straight out say it, dude. A day after I posted the first episode of The Safe House, Abel's associated with Promotion B that was mentioned in The Safe House. And people were sending Abel my video of The Safe House with Gary Benfield. And Abel comes up to me and he goes, "Hey, what is this? People are sending me this video."
It's not like Abel do like that because he has more.
No, well, he didn't have it at the time.
Oh, so it's floating down.
Yeah, and I was like, Abel, it's a stupid video, man. Get out of my face, bro.
Bro.
Don't act hard around me.
I love you,
You
Abel.
know me forever, dude.
I love you, Abel.
Really? Like, I love you too, man.
I like messing with you.
Why you gonna do that to me?
Poke the bear.
So let's
Poke the bear,
Abel.
Abel.
So let's go back to
So anyway, it was, what's the first name in your phone book? Once again, punk kid. Abel Adams. Mine is AJ Styles.
Thomas Simpson.
You're a hot dog. Awesome. I will follow you anywhere, said Florida. And that was pretty much it. It was, trust in me. I will get you booked. You will meet people that you have never met before. And I'm going to carry you to that promised land. All that came through, except for the promised land, it was the carrot. Just they were just in front of you. You just missed it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You just missed it. Yeah, you were just a little bit front. You just missed it again. Keep on trying, kid, but you're gonna get it. So here was Thomas he had a crap load of connections. Everyone knew Thomas from Omega. I mean, everyone and their mom, if they were worth a flip, had a connection to Omega. I mean, hell, even Joey Abs, Mean Street Posse. I mean, from Omega. You know, even the lowest of the rung had power from Omega. And there's Thomas Simpson, the money backer. You know, they're leading it up, and Thomas Simpson's vouching for a Kirby Mack, or a TJ Mack, or a Eddie Rich, or a Kid Magnum, or a Derek Rise. And it became, you know, here's my friend.
Yeah.
My world.
So you're in
And he
touch with
wanted to
Thomas.
introduce you to it.
You finally win him over.
Yeah.
What causes the fallout? Because I know there was a fallout. We'll touch on that in a minute. What causes the fallout with you and Thomas?
It was, realistically, Thomas always had a chip on his shoulder. The initial chip on his shoulder was two kids by the name of Shane Steele and Alex Stone.
Yeah, that was the very first. Shane Steele would be my first ever tag team partner. Alex Stone being my first ever trainee.
They had personal conflict. That was the first ever chip on the shoulder that I ever heard of.
And to be honest, the Shane Steele conflict was that Shane Steele he wouldn't kiss Thomas's butt, and he wouldn't give
That's
Thomas,
that's what he wanted.
He wouldn't give Thomas the respect that Thomas felt he deserved. And Alex Stone, other than some other personal things which he really, kind of went deep into.
Yeah.
Alex Stone just, he was disrespectful, man. He was just, he took advantage of Thomas. Thomas is a guy who will do a lot for you. Will give you anything that he can, but
he prides himself on his name.
Yeah, you're also able to take advantage of him, and sometimes
Very
Thomas
easily.
doesn't see it. So that's what happened there. So anyway, chip on his shoulder.
Thomas is like the kid in school that if you will be his friend, he's going to give you whatever the hell he's got. And it's sad because really, as it's just that we consider each other true friends at one point. We would see that take place, and we called him out on it. That dude's using you. That's horseshit. He's freaking using you. No, man. No, it's all good. It's all
just wants a bar tab.
I said, "Now, man, hey, I'm gonna pick this up for him one time." I was like, "Thomas, no, dude, that's horseshit. He's getting you. He's getting you. You don't need to do this." So anyway, so it comes down to the point. We all love Thomas to death. Thomas has been a major point in all of our lives.
Yeah, I cannot doubt that.
But granted, like going back to what we said,
I'm just going to town. Keep going.
it's going to town. All right, awesome.
Keep going. I'm just teasing it.
It is going back to what Thomas Simpson
Safe House, episode 2.
said. The hardest thing you will ever do is for me to be your friend. It's a hard thing to be my friend, and that's it. And so, if you're one of Thomas's boys, hey Tal, what's up? Eddie Rich here. Tap just cut off. You would get this rap, you're one of Thomas's boys, and there's a stigma that goes on with Thomas's boys, which is horseshit.
Yeah,
And you get labeled like that. Oh, you're one of Thomas's boys. That's bullshit. I mean, there may be jokes, there may be Michigan stories.
Yes, there may be.
Yeah, maybe. But nothing, to me, nothing happened. The same thing can be said for the same people that run in Georgia, in Minnesota, Florida, and a couple other places I can name, and I can go through the whole names and do the Tennessee. Let's throw Tennessee in there. There's a couple of places like that people could trash talk the same type of people, the same type of promoters, and have their boys. There's sword fighting taking place and all that kind of shit. You don't need it. It's hearsay. If you don't see it happen, it don't happen. Really, I mean, there's no Sandusky bullshit. I'm sure there is in wrestling, but people get labeled with that stigma, and nothing ever happens.
So reach to what the falling out was. So
the falling out was
like what caused, and we'll get to the Wild Wings episode, but what
I was
caused
gonna say
the animosity to build up to that?
It was Thomas was on his. He got to the point.
He gets on a high horse.
He was on his high horse, and it was, if you are not Matt Hardy, you ain't shit.
Sure, I remember that.
And that's what really set a lot of us over the top. Because Matt, love you to death, you have reached pinnacles that we could only dream of reaching. Only dream of. You've been at WrestleMania, you've done TNA, you're conquering the indie world right now. All of us would love to be in your shoes, because Rebby is a good-looking girl. You're doing.
And she loves Botchamania.
She loves Botchamania. Japan.
Hey, Rebby.
So, but at the same token, we're not Matt. We're not Jeff.
We never will be.
We're not C-Dub. We're not Steve. We're not Shannon. We're not Shane. We're not Marty. We're Eddie and Kirby. What the first generation that you helped out did, we're not going to be able to do.
You helped inspire us and spawned us.
You inspired us.
We're not you.
We cannot recreate by footstep by footstep by footstep what they did. We're a new generation. We have to do it our own way. Granted, we can look at them as inspiration, and with that we did. But we were put on the same pedestal. We're not going to measure up, because you're talking about the industry is a totally different place. The economy's a totally different place. As in, I mean, we've been doing this for a long time. We're not up at the top. We're not going for search from Wild Side to WCW Nitro as a part of 3 Count.
So at this point, you're pissed at Thomas because you can't meet his expectations.
I wasn't really pissed. It was agitated.
Agitated because you can't meet his expectations. You can't be that guy he wants you to be.
You can't be that guy. And it was constantly something. It was a little bird on your shoulder saying,
sure.
You suck. You should do better. And I was like, you probably get tired of listening to that.
At this point as well, I've also got a little bit of heat with Thomas, a little bit of animosity with Thomas, and I'll get into that in a later episode. So I decide to, hey Thomas, man, like me and you used to be best friends. We really did. Me and Thomas used to be really close, really best friends.
You want to tell that story or the TJ story?
We used to talk all the time. I don't know what the TJ story is, but it was TJ.
Yeah.
Nah, maybe not.
Okay, that's later time. Okay.
Yeah, me and Thomas used to be really, really close. So when the animosity came and the heat came, I decided it was time to put it to rest. Me and Thomas need to make up and become tight friends again. So I asked Thomas to meet me at Wild Wings, and I asked Eddie to be there so he could be a moderator.
What we actually asked for was, would Thomas's friends please show up? That was, I think that was originally it, because it was Stoney, TJ. We said
Right.
Well, would Thomas's friends show up? No one showed up except for these two.
It was just me showing up to end the score with Thomas, the animosity, and Eddie showing up to be a moderator, because I knew at that time I was really hot. And I didn't want to.
They all got hot.
I didn't want to get into the situation that I didn't want to be into. I didn't want Thomas to say something that would set me off, and I also knew that ER had a lot to get off his chest, and he wanted to say something too. So I kind of set Thomas up. I said, "Hey Thomas, I'll meet you, But then I sent out text and I had other people show up. So when Thomas showed up, it was me and it was ER, and Thomas was kind of taken aback. So we started to have this conversation. We started to talk. We started to get really deep. Emotions were flying. It was getting kind of heated. And hot tagged Eddie.
And granted, I will full on admit, I teared up during this. I was so...
I did too.
We were so upset because we care so much about Thomas.
We do.
Tom, like,
and he doesn't see it.
He don't see it.
I think it's because he doesn't want to.
And
he has his walls up.
Exactly.
Thomas has been hurt so much, and a lot of people take advantage of it.
A lot. You know, it got to the point. You see guys, it's like, I want to hang out with Thomas because I know Thomas is going to pick up the bar tab.
I know who'll pay for my dinner.
And to be honest with you, I'm guilty. I'm guilty about that. You know, Thomas will come out to Bailey's for pay-per-views. We're all guilty about that because we know. Really, if Thomas is with you, Thomas is going to throw his money around, and we were all starting. And it finally came down to, like, we wanted to admit we were wrong about this.
We did.
Because we didn't give a shit about it.
I guess it was too little.
We wanted his friendship.
He wouldn't buy it.
And it was, and he got a promo on us. I mean, we were being legit, and it's like he had a script ready, and he fired back at us.
I mean, we were tearing up. We were that emotional.
We were both of us were emotional.
We were upset.
We
wanted Thomas to understand.
The frustration had gotten to that point.
Absolutely.
And then it was, well, you ain't doing this like Jeff did back when he was your age.
And when Matt was Matt.
And it's just got to that point. It's like we're not talking about Matt and Jeff. We're talking about us.
So what ended up happening at this point was I went to the bathroom. And as I'm coming back from the bathroom, Thomas is sitting in his stool, leaning back like this, scared for his life, and ER is already 8 foot. ER is looming over him.
I'm screaming at him.
I mean, and I'm gonna hot tag again to Eddie because he was there. So
what got me, it was, and to be honest with you, I was so angry. I don't even remember what really was said. It was something to the
one.
It was something to the fact of Matt Hardy did this, and it got to the point. I said, "Fuck Matt Hardy," and I reached over and I slapped Thomas in the face.
And when I tell you he slapped Thomas so hard, Thomas's glasses fell off.
And I really tried. I feel awful about this now because I got up and I was so pissed. And I'm out of screen right now, but I come up like this. You see, my fist is out like this. I'm coming. Kirby jumps on me like he's Yoda and I'm Luke Skywalker.
I
mean, he hooks me.
hooked him. I let him get one. I'm gonna be honest. I let him get one shot in because I felt like Thomas deserved it.
Man, my eyes were watering so bad when I did that because I was to that point. I was so flipping frustrated, so upset, so hurt. Here's a guy that I mean, he's a major part of my life.
Yeah. And
this dude for 5 years has been a part of every weekend of my stinking life. Every weekend he's been there, from one aspect or another, and he's basically just saying, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, and the weird thing about Thomas is like as soon as the ER hit him, like Thomas blacked it out, like it didn't happen.
Yeah.
I pulled ER back, we sat him down, and Thomas just started laughing. The guy from Wild Wings came over. I had to talk to him. I said, no, it's cool. We were just airing some stuff out. We had a little bit of a heated situation, but it's fine now. The manager from Wild Wings walks away, and Thomas sits down, and he looks at the ER, and he's like, where were we?
So anyway.
ER was like, I just slapped you, and Thomas was like, no, you didn't.
I got up and I walked away.
I
walked away, and I said 2 phrase words that I don't like saying. It starts with the G. I don't like doing that. I said that, I got up and I walked to the other end of the bar, and I sat down there for the rest of the evening.
Yeah. And me and Thomas tried to end it. And it goes back to, again, and since that night, me and Thomas have never really been back on the bar. And it's just because, like ER said, Thomas is a very stubborn guy.
He is.
Stubborn.
Thomas, if you're watching, I still love you, man. You're a good guy.
I'm right there with you, bro.
I mean, call us what you want. You get a smurf on the like selling bitch to slap you or whatever.
Smurf all day, bro.
But I mean, we care about you, dude.
Yeah.
And really, that's what it was all about. Is that I don't know. We used to all just joke. Here comes the Thomas phone call. I was like, we all just joke about it. I mean,
call spit. All right, so let's back out of this now. So now, you were the hot commodity. Then CWA and then NWA Charlotte. They burned you out. You said screw this. You threw your suit. You lost half of it. You were done. That was pretty much your last shot. You're done, right? You decided to call it
I'm
quits.
done.
You decided to call it quits.
I'm out.
Walk me through like the first month on the emotional. You had to go through some kind of emotional roller coaster.
I said,
you had a lot of passion for it.
I did. I said, screw this, screw it. I'm done.
Yeah.
I had no cares whatsoever about announcing. I was like, screw this shit. If I'm gonna get screwed over, I might as well do it 30 miles away from my house.
Sure.
And that's when I started going back to APW.
Okay.
No paying gig, but it was fun.
Yeah.
Kind of like what we did tonight.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, so I went back to APW. It was as a swan song.
See, I didn't even know this. I didn't know you went back.
Yeah, I went back. It was me, Boomer, and this other guy. This is gonna show you Spartanburg, South Carolina. There's a wrestler named David Duke. So it came time for David Duke to get a name change, and David needed a little bit more guidance, and so he teamed up with the guy who actually trained me, named Boomer Payne. They came up with this great idea that his name was going to be, wait for it, Dookie Payne.
Dookie Payne.
And we did this Freebirds gimmick.
Money.
It was horrible, but my God, it was the best thing time of my life because we didn't give one rat's patoot. It was about going out and having fun. We'd go out there, we'd cut promos, we'd ramble on, whatever. Jay don't care. Do whatever you want. All right, brother, you go and get the microphone. You do what you want to do. And, we do these programs. It was fun.
Sure.
We enjoyed it. And it kind of gave a little bit of life back.
Yeah.
It really did. And because it's not business no more, it's about fun. It's what we all started out hoping that this whole damn thing was going to be. It was going to be about fun. It was fun. So that, you take a little bit of time off, and all of a sudden here comes the bookings again. Here comes the paid bookings.
Okay.
And it was, the NWA Fanfest. And Gregg Price was going to run the show. He was going to start running against the old NWA Charlotte. He was going to do his own thing.
Yeah.
And start using some of his Fanfest powers coming in. And so all of a sudden you got the Chase Stevens coming down. You got the Damian Waynes coming down.
Oh yeah.
You got the Rhett Tituses from Ring of Honor coming out. And the biggest thing of all is our agent, for those of you do a little bit of homework, figure out what an agent is in wrestling. Our agent for these matches was Tully Blanchard.
I mean, why not?
So you're getting your directions told by Tully Blanchard. It's very intimidating.
Absolutely.
Because here's Tully Blanchard flipping 4 horsemen saying, all right, Eddie, I want you to do this, this, and this. Once you go about this way, but at this mark, I want you to twist this around, yada, yada, yada. And you're like, it's Tully Blanchard.
Dude, it's Tully, yeah, exactly.
You need to slap yourself in the face because it's Tully Blanchard talking to you, and he knows you, and it's awesome. And so, that was another big thing. And once again, you're right back into it, but at the same time, it becomes a job again because you're on that high profile.
With all the stuff you had to do at NWA Fanfest, I mean, you had to do a lot. You were a pretty big workhorse. I mean, did you start to get stiff there, or?
There was a couple of times, in all honesty, I had to wait around for Gregg to come around with the payouts.
But you didn't get stiff.
No.
You had to wait for him to go to the ATM.
Right here, Gregg Price always made good to me.
Okay.
I know there's a lot of crap going on about right now from Baby Doll and a couple other people, talking bad mouthing Gregg Price.
Sure.
Gregg Price always did right by me.
Okay.
Right there on the camera. Gregg Price always did right by me.
Okay, so let's.
I don't know. If he did someone else wrong, that's the wrong thing. But Gregg Price always took care of me. I love Gregg Price to death.
Let's move out of the stories and kind of get the emotions and the deep part. Which wrestling for you is done, right? You said screw this, I'm out.
For the most part. So what it basically came down to was, do I keep taking the $20, $100 weekend bookings, or do I work my real job and try to support myself and pay bills?
Right. And
the pipe dream is done. And to be honest with you, the only regrets I will actually go on fact saying I never seen anything in the WWE.
Well, yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you. There was one point when you were really strong for Dale and you were running the AWA, and I mean, you were doing some of your best work, quite personally. And WWE put out a job.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking for an announcer. We're looking for and I sent it to you over and over and over again. Hey, send a package. And I even told you, I said, give me your stuff. I will put it together for you, and I will send it in.
I never said anything.
Why didn't we do it? Is it because you have fun doing it on an indie level and you don't want to do it as a corporate level, or what?
I don't know. To be honest with you. It was probably the fear of rejection. Really, I'm not sure. I don't think, I could be, as my height, I think plays a big thing in it. And try to be an ring announcer. Josh Matthews is the perfect height. He's like 5'6". I mean, he's right around even kill.
Sure, yeah.
I don't know. I really don't know. I see I guess the business has changed because when I was at Anarchy, and really the whole reason why I was trying to stick around in Anarchy, because at the time I really seriously thought that the TNA connection with Anarchy was still there intact.
Right.
That I was going to be third or fourth in line. You had Dave Penzer, you had Jeremy Borash, hopefully maybe Eddie Rich somewhere in there.
Sure.
Because there's a lot of TNA guys that would come in and out of Anarchy. And none of that ever transpired. And I was like, all right, well, that's the busted avenue. And all of a sudden you got TNA's hiring Christy Hemme and every other flipping WWE, recent firee to come do these regular spots. And it's like, well, hell, there goes the ring announcer. I'm sorry, I don't have big plastic tits, and I'm not a redhead, I'm not hot.
Right.
So I'd much rather look at Christy Hemme than myself.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
So there goes that idea. WWE, same thing. You got Lillian Garcia. Yeah, good looking girl.
Okay,
sucks.
So you're out now. The WWE, you never taping. So now you're sitting at home, and it goes from 5-6 years straight of you doing announcing on the road every weekend. That was your lifestyle, and now you're sitting at home. I mean, how do you make that transition? How does that feel?
To be honest, it's very easy.
Yeah?
Very easy.
You were that burned.
That burned. Getting to go home and stay at home is an awesome feeling.
And I'll be honest, I don't take as much bookings as I did a couple of years ago. I don't take as far away bookings too as I did a couple of years ago. A couple of years ago, I would be New Jersey, Philly, Indianapolis, Atlanta. I'd be all over the place. And this time, if I take bookings, sometimes I'll just take 2 weekends off to stay home to go paintballing with my wife, or to go rock climbing with my wife, and I really enjoy that.
Seriously, because
you really don't understand what you're missing until you do it.
We did months. Weekends upon weekends upon weekends upon weekends.
Birthdays, I miss Christmas, I miss.
You miss weddings, you miss everything, and it's the point. Now I want to make TJ's wedding coming up, and I've already asked off work so I can do it. But in wrestling, you think, oh no, I'm missing this chance. There may be someone there that's gonna see me, so I'm gonna blow this one.
Sure.
Screw that shit. No one ain't gonna see you. If Vince wants you, Vince gonna find you. Don't do your stupid gut checks. Don't pay Jeff Jarrett, $1,000, to go do this bullshit.
And I'm gonna be dead serious.
It's stupid.
I've been in the wrestling business 10, 13 years now, and I'm at the point now where I will not pay money to be seen. I won't. To me, it's ridiculous.
Viper brought in John Laurinaitis not too long ago. Hey, guess how many guys from that tryout, or is under WWE contract? 0.0.
Oh, I was gonna guess 0.
Yeah, TNA Gut Check. Hey, you pay $750, you get a shirt that says TNA Gut Check. So you can take your picture and post it on Facebook. So you say, "Oh, I want a TNA Gut Check."
Again, 100% honest, because that's what this whole thing is about. I was involved in the first ever TNA Gut Check. I'm talking about years ago when it was with Elix Skipper, when he was there as the head trainer. So, put that back how long ago.
It's a long time ago.
I was involved in the very first ever TNA Gut Check. I paid the money, I went in, I busted my butt. It came down between me and this guy named Wes Adams, and we were killing everything. And Wes Adams at that point did some kind of lifeguard gimmick, whatever. You can do it. We were killing everything, we were ahead of everybody. Then all of a sudden, when it comes to the finale, they pick some guy out of nowhere who puked 3 times during the gut check and the cardio challenges. He puked 3 times. They picked him to win, And then me and Wes got runner-up, which means a handshake. Thanks for coming out. Later on, I find out a couple months later, the guy that puked to win that they picked, they knew he was good. They were going to pick him to win the whole time. It was a work. The whole thing was a work.
It is. Hey, guess what? Hey, Cauliflower Alley Club, if you get in with Harley Race, you'll win the Future Legends Award.
Oh yeah, that's a dang shoot, Mr. Trevor Murdoch. Let me tell you something about that. Let me go on shoot.
Hey, my suit is his now.
Yeah, I'm taking over this, okay? Because this is where I got hot. Like the year before, Ricky Landell wins the Future Legend Award. Then all of a sudden, I'm up to win it. So Dale Gunny's like, all right, turn this in. We're gonna get you. And of course, like everything in wrestling, it's a work. Whatever. It's entertainment. Who cares? But when someone tells you you're next, you're gonna win it. Cool, whatever. All right, we go there. We're ready to go. At this point, when I'm set to win it, Trevor Murdoch's still working for the Fed. So there's no one cares about Trevor, right? So he botches the stupid Petey Williams finish he tries to do because he doesn't know how to do it with all that hard. So we get to Vegas and I'm still set to win. Then all of a sudden Trevor Murdoch gets released. But what we don't know is Trevor Murdoch was trained by Harley Race.
Ooh, he was in Missouri.
Is the day before the Future Legend
Award.
The Future Legend Award gets named. Trevor Murdoch is all of a sudden in the running. So I'm like, well, wait a minute, what about me?
That happened.
Everyone was voting for me, and now Trevor Murdoch is going to be talking about being one. He just got released.
Like 3 days ago.
So I'm sitting there at the table, and I'm ready to get up, and I'm ready to do my acceptance speech, and all of a sudden Harley's up there, and he's like, I want to announce my, the Future Legend Award. And all of a sudden I knew that was going to happen.
Come on.
But I was still hoping.
We're fingers crossed.
Trevor Murdoch. Now, I'm okay at this point. I'm like, all right, I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm just going to sit here at the Cauliflower Alley Club and I'm going to listen. 10 minutes. And he goes, Trevor Murdoch. Trevor Murdoch's nowhere around. And he goes, Trevor Murdoch. Yeah, well, he's nowhere around. Then all of a sudden, someone runs out. They go to the bar to get Trevor Murdoch, who's drunk. They drag him back. Trevor Murdoch gets on the mic and says something to the effect of, well, thank the Cauliflower Alley Club and Harley Race. Future Legend. All right. And leaves.
The greatest thing
I
was,
get up. I go and drink.
We had a protest. It was myself, Kirby Mack, Erico, Big Walt, and Del Gagne, and who else? Was there someone else?
Yeah, I'm sure there was. There was a couple of Erico's trainees.
One of Erico's kids. We just bolted up and left. Because here it is. The future legends of the Cauliflower Alley Club. We all believe this is something serious.
Yeah, you think it's like
so? Yeah,
like
Kirby Mack's well dressed the entire time. You see Trevor Murdoch run the casino around and damn, cut off T-shirts,
blue jeans. I'm in a suit.
He's in a suit the entire flipping time. Trying to live professional. Same thing to Erico. Erico has a flipping tattoo that says Erico across his damn neck, but at least he can wear a damn shirt and tie to look professional.
Suit, yeah. Come on, dude. Take this serious. It's the Future Legend Award. It's an award that's won by Kurt Angle.
And that guy that no one can mention anymore.
Yeah. Kurt Angle's nuts. Is that the guy?
That guy. Yeah. Crippler. Don't say that.
Oh, my bad.
No.
Doesn't exist. He doesn't exist.
Say that. So, it's politics. Everything's politics.
I'm sorry. I bounced around from where we were, though, with you.
Where were you at? I know. Yeah, we went off on a tangent on Cauliflower Alley Club.
So let me run through a couple of. Let's play a little name game here.
What time is it? Like 5 o'clock in the morning right now?
Yeah, dude. And I'm getting tired. I'm almost clocking out. Not that I want to, but
you're dying out, man. I'm still rocking and rolling.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna name names, and you don't have. It doesn't have to be the one word thing. Just the first thing that comes to your mind, you can say it, whether it's a sentence, a paragraph, one word, or whatever.
All right, let's go for it.
Bill Behrens.
Secretive. As in, I don't know.
Yeah, like if you got a story that goes with it, go with it.
And he just, I don't know. I never got to know Bill. I was with him. I saw him every other Saturday for a good couple of months. I never knew Bill.
Sure.
Bill Behrens, I was at the store that, he was a power play, yada. Never had a chance to actually get to know Bill. Bill would come in there and, I want you to do this.
Okay.
Bill Behrens here, want you to see if you can announce this match this way, yada. Bill seemed like a cool dude. Never got to know him.
Excuse me.
Brett Wolverton. Is that his last name?
Brett Wolverton. I love Brett. Brett,
He's a close fifth to you.
Brett, I think, I don't know, he liked that because I quit.
Being honest.
Yeah, being honest. I mean, not saying Brett sucks or anything, but because I was already established in this area and Brett was a new guy down here coming from Michigan, when I quit, Brett was there.
Yeah.
That was it.
Okay, Bill Hazelwood.
I hate you.
Yeah.
I don't know. Bill, I think it's a cool person.
I think Bill tries to make himself too much part of the show, and that's my problem.
He makes himself too much part of the show. He's very hard to take, in person. He's the character that you see of Bill in the ring. That is Bill. Bill is boom, boom, boom.
Oh yeah.
He used to swing down my old car a lot and just, literally, he used to come just check in and say, hey, so, Bill, I appreciate that. But he's very cartoonish.
Okay. Roger Gleaton.
Yeah, douchebag. Feels like douchebag. Feels like douchebag.
Tyshawn Williams.
I can't say the Thomas name.
It's the safe house, you're safe.
I can't say the Thomas name. I love Tyshawn. Me and Tyshawn's biggest thing we ever had to heat over was, man, before you and Thomas and TJ ever came along, it was me, Blake, and Tyshawn.
Yeah. Really?
The early age, back when it was freaking Los Guerreros and Bobby Houston, Jake Manning. I mean, old school crap. Back when Michael DiCiccio wrestled in the House of Pain and came out and jumped around.
John Cena gimmick.
He did it. Michael, you're cool. But
just don't wrestle.
Don't wrestle. Stay in the ring. Sell the merchandise. Don't get in the ring.
What?
Jump around. Yeah. So anyways, me and Tyshawn got in this battle one time. It was the show up in Charlotte that he was going to have Ric Flair, Roddy Piper, and Ricky Steamboat on. And literally, Brett, hey, heads up, I called him out on this. He wanted Brett to be the ring announcer. And I called him out and said, hey, dude, that's bullshit. I don't want to do your commentary that was the original idea. I want to be your ring announcer. That is what I feel that I succeed at, is ring announcing.
Yeah.
And he said, Brett wanted to do the announcing. I said, I don't care. Really sure this would be the only time I ever power played anything. I was so pissed off. I said, dude, I've been with you since day stinking one. Right. EWA, when George South was running, and Mooresboro, North Carolina. That's how I first met Tyshawn. I've been there since day stinking one. And so you're going to shit can me because of this. It was over money, basically. And I said, dude,
of course.
Pick what you're going to pay Brett.
It always is.
0. And I'll do it. Because, seriously, I wanted to be able to say that I was on the show with Ric Flair, Piper, Steamboat.
Yeah.
It was a markout moment. It was fun.
Yeah.
I'm going back to Al Gregg's. Hey, Del Gagne, keep this in mind. I missed out on a show repping a match of Ric Flair making his debut with Hulk Hogan being on the show. I picked Ozark, Alabama for you over the Hulk Hogan show.
Hey, Al Griggs.
So, hey, Del, you owe me. Keep that in mind.
Jeff Lewis Neal.
One of my best friends.
Yeah.
Everyone hates him.
Yeah.
Everyone hates Jeff. But one of my, he is my Ricky Landell.
I got you. I feel you on that.
He is another brother of mine.
Gary Banfield. Viper.
Promising. Me and Viper. Viper told me before I left, said, hey man, be nice to me. And really, I don't have any bad things to say about Viper.
Oh, it'd be nice in this?
Be nice to this.
Sure, yeah.
The only thing
you never really worked for HPW.
I did for a while. Me and Gary knew each other a long time.
Okay.
Could be because he was a wrestler at APW, and then I did the announcement at HPW.
Yeah.
The only thing me and him ever had qualms over, and it was never addressed, was when I still say he took liberties against Oscar.
Yeah, sure.
And I don't like that.
He agrees on that.
When he did. When he made a mistake, he owned up to it.
Statement in that.
Aside from that, I have seen Gary go from the Rat Shack behind Wendy's in Harrisonville to behind Food Line to where he's at now.
The crowd tonight.
Exactly. The little Rat Shack would never have that crowd. And Gary has busted his something to get there. And props to you, Gary. Yeah. Props to you. You done awesome.
So,
I miss Jesse Black. No one gets that joke. Me and you do, Gary. Me and you do.
So professional wrestling, how do you feel towards it?
It's okay in small doses.
Yeah.
I had fun tonight, getting to work at High Velocity Wrestling in Nashville, North Carolina with you. 93.3 The Planet came down. It was a fun show.
You don't see yourself going back in a full dose?
No, I can't afford it.
Okay.
I can't afford it. Me paying my bills, having a real life means more.
Are you at the point where you've moved past it, or do you miss it?
I miss hanging out with the boys.
Yeah.
I don't miss wrestling one bit. Not one second bit. I miss hanging out with, and this will be my name drop. The Neil Nitros, the Bryce Anthonys, John Schuyler's, the Jason Justices, the Boomer Payne, the Hughes on the show, Jeff Lewis, Michael Judas, Mike Madden. If I forgot someone, I'm sorry, but it's what goes on along with wrestling. Malachi, Reginald Vanderhoff, you small dick son of a bitch. Now, you guys, it was that Rough House, Lotus or Snowball, whatever you want to call it. Even Sonny Landell. It was, those guys, it was hanging out with those guys. That's what made it fun. And of course, when you get the business aspect of it, you don't get to see that.
If you could do anything different, is there anything that you would do?
No, probably take less shit.
Sure. Stand up for yourself more.
Yeah, stand because.
I feel you.
Oh, and the biggest thing, and this is my advice to anyone who may say this. The biggest thing I always heard in the locker room was, don't mark out to the superstars that's in the locker room.
That's what they say.
That's what they say. Screw it. I have been in the locker room with Ric Flair, Roddy Piper, Steamboat, the Nasty Boys, Abdul the Butcher, Ricky Morton, the whole Rock and Roll Express, for all these stupid smart marks, David Richards, or when he shows up at shows, or actually wrestles, Tony Casino when he's not killing a 14-year-old kid.
Right.
All these guys that you look up to, the reason why you get in there, and you're taught, don't be a mark, don't ask for a picture, don't ask for an autograph, screw it, because when you get out, you're going to regret it. You really are. I doing the Fanfest, I've met the entire Midnight Express. I carried Arn Anderson's luggage. If I wanted to, he would have done anything for me because I carried his luggage for him. Sure. You meet all these guys, the process. I don't want to be a mark. At the end of the day, who gives a shit? We're all fans.
We're all marks.
We're all fans. That's the biggest thing.
And anything you want to touch on that I did not? I feel like we covered a very wide spectrum.
Not that I can think of. If any people out there realize that you actually pay attention to the ring announcer and want to think of something, just hit me up.
Okay, so this is A. Rich. Again, his Twitter is @AdventuresofER. @AdventuresofER.
That's me.
I want to thank you for being so open and honest. Again, you covered a lot of ground. I feel like we were all over the board, but I feel like
there's around a lot.
There's a lot of stuff out there. There's a lot of stories out there. It's going to be a hell of a time in the editing process. Will definitely be a two-part.
Oh, I will say this.
Probably won't be getting booked for anybody lately.
No, probably not. I will say this. Boomer Payne once tried to seduce me in the hot tub in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania one time. He disrobed himself in a hot tub. Boomer Payne is homosexual. I'll leave it at that.
Did it work?
No. That's actually when I was in full germaphobe. I was in a sleeping bag, actually in my hotel bed, and I wrapped up. He booked us for a hot tub.
Gotcha.
Boomer Payne's a river. So, watch out. Homosexual.
River. Hey man, I thought this was a really great.
Kirby, thank you, brother, for having me. I hope I'm
better. Did you get some stuff out there?
A little bit. I just hope I'm more entertaining than John Schuyler because I think I have a better story of rags to riches than some box boy.
Do you have anything sitting on your plate that you need to get out there that you don't feel like we got out there?
Actually, yes. The Disco Inferno and La Parca are truly underrated as professional employers.
I'm being serious here. No ribbing about this.
I'm being serious.
No, you're not.
This is what I'm saying.
About you.
About me?
Is there anything that I did not touch on that you would like me to touch on?
You want to touch my penis?
Is there anything? I mean,
no, I'm good.
Good?
I'm good.
Alright, bro. Thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoyed it. I really want to go to bed. It's like 6 o'clock in the morning.
It's 6 o'clock in the morning.
We did a 4-hour interview.
4-hour interview.
Editing process is going to be hell. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for tuning in to episode 1. I also want to thank you for tuning in again for episode 2. This is Eddie Rich. He is used to be a ring announcer. Now
Used to be.
every now and then from me when I ask him to. Regardless, at the end of the day, he's still the man with the golden voice, and he's better than anybody out there that is still active or inactive, quite frankly. If you have
booking information, please send 12 of these to my doorstep.
Absolutely. If you have a problem with that, come see me. I am Kirby Mack, professional wrestler extraordinaire, the best professional wrestler you have never heard of. And this is The Safe House, episode 2, possibly 3. We got a 2-part or a 3-part. Who knows, who knows, who knows? Thank you all for joining.